So we had Roaring Kitty's live stream for his GameStop position. The entire world was on pause, waiting for this guy's live stream to start. Even CNBC was covering it. And his whole live stream was kind of him being a little nervous, seemed like trying to skirt that line of legal and trying to not get sued or trying to not be called out for market manipulation or whatever. But he did have some sort of slip-ups where it kind of looked like that might have been exactly what he was going for. Like this right here, he says this kind of says like, watch this, and tries to say something and saying that he's implying that he's moving the price of the stock.
I think for now, we're going to end the stream. I think we're going to end the stream now. Let's end it. Oh!
So this was him saying, you know, watch this, look at this, and saying we're going to end the stream. I guess trying to say that algos are listening. I think that's what people are saying, like, oh, he's so smart. He knows the algos are listening. And when he says end the stream, they're going to dump the price. And it went down 1% or something, or like $1. And then it got halted, which is funny. And then he went on to not end the stream and continue talking, and I think it went back up. But this is not a good look for someone who doesn't want to go to jail for market manipulation, just because, you know, saying this is kind of implying you know that what you're doing or things that you do or say can impact the stock price. So not a smart move for him to try and do this, but I mean, I guess we'll see where he goes from this. He also showed his portfolio here, and this is what he's looking like. So we can see, we'll go on this side. We can see he's sitting here, very, very down on the day, down $235 million on the day, still up like 146 million. And there are conspiracies as to what's going on with his money. Where did his money come from? Because I think he made like $50 million from GameStop before, and now he comes back and he's got $290 million sitting right now at $350 million, got up to like almost $1 billion before when GameStop was up. And you know, like, is he backed by someone? There's a lot of people talking about that. Who knows? But at the end of the day, stuff like this is kind of weird because it feels like he might be doing some sort of market manipulation, pump and dump type thing. I don't know if he's part of like the GameStop company and they're trying to use this as a way to, you know, dump shares on retail when he's getting active, because that's what they've been doing. We can see GameStop, this is what they've been doing every time the stock goes up, and you can't even blame the company. But ahead of their earnings, ahead of his Roaring Kitty event, that they basically offered 75 million shares. These guys, an at the money offering, or at the market offering, to sell up to 75 million shares. This was right here. So this was at this time around this spike here. And before we see this spike, they also sold 45 million shares at this spike right here. And then the shares go down. Obviously, they're diluting. Have another spike. They sell more shares, and they just continue doing this. So what that could do for them is obviously make it so they don't go bankrupt anytime soon, because they are not doing well at all. This whole thing has been crazy. Roaring Kitty's live stream. It's weird because it seems like GameStop knows what's going on, or somebody knows what's going on, because his live stream was scheduled on YouTube. And what did GameStop do? They pushed their earnings up a few days, because I think it was supposed to be Tuesday they were supposed to report, but they reported the day before his live stream went up because the earnings were so bad. To get that out of the way, to people kind of sweep that under the rug and say, well, Roaring Kitty live stream's coming, which worked, right? It actually did work because they reported their terrible earnings and the stock still spiked up. I think this says it here. This was their earnings, $881 million in sales, missing the $995 million estimate. And their sales compared to last year, or last quarter, was down 30%. So this is not a great company. This is not something that's fundamentally sound. This is not a company that people should be looking at and saying, wow, this is amazing. This fundamentally is undervalued. It's not like that. And before, when Roaring Kitty did his GameStop analysis before, He was way more confident. And at that time, I think GameStop was like a $200 million market cap. He was saying it's slightly undervalued. And he thinks that this and that, and the shorts are piling on, and there could be something here. And he went into that. Now it's like $14 billion. It's way overvalued compared to what they're doing. It's a dying company, yet somehow he's still coming out saying, this is the greatest stock in the world. Such a great opportunity. I believe in Ryan Cohen. He's going to turn things around. And it just seems very weird. And the biggest losers here are retail. They're people trying to chase this, trying to get rich, because you're just not going to. When GameStop, every time you see this spike, they're going to dilute and they're going to offer shares. That's going to send the price all the way back down. And even Roaring Kitty's live stream here, you see he started it. I mean, we can look at the stock. He started his live stream at 12:30. It was something like this, $37 a share, and it just went all the way down. It dropped 26% from there. And it just didn't work out how they thought. I think that a lot of people, if he's working by himself or if he's working with a team, whatever, they thought that this live stream was going to pump the stock and that they were going to, you know, make hundreds of millions of dollars. But instead, they lost hundreds of millions of dollars. It's just not a good look. I'm very, you know, back and forth on if this guy should, you know, go to jail or face charges. I mean, he's probably doing some market manipulation, right? He knows tweeting these memes will send the price up, and he's not thinking long term because he has 2-week dated calls. So that should be pretty obvious, right? But at the same time, there's still people in government, Congress, and everyone who does way worse things in manipulating the markets and trading on inside information, and that goes completely unnoticed and unwarranted. So I think we should group both of them together, that they're both wrong, they're both manipulating stuff, and, you know, somehow fix it. I don't know how that could be done, because the biggest people getting hurt in here are retail, everyday people who cannot afford to lose this money. This is one story that this person actually got lucky, but saying I had $270,000 gain on GME and lost it all in less than a day from $33 buys to $6, $7 with 8,000 shares all the way back to $33. And he entered as soon as he saw Roaring Kitty update his YouTube after 3 years. Decided to hold and hopefully be part of a powerful squeeze to win big. That's the dream, right? And this guy got very lucky that he knew to set some sort of stop limits to make sure that he didn't lose money, because this is what he goes on to say. You know, he ended up going from 270,000 gains all the way back to 0 in a day, which is already insane. But also, you know, at least he didn't lose anything. But that's not the story for most people. Most people are seeing this and seeing Roaring Kitty's back. Oh my God, maybe I'll chase this and get rich. And all you're going to do is lose money. The conditions are not the same as they were in 2021 when he did this, or 2020, when people had flushed with money. You had mortgage forbearance, student loan forbearance, stimulus checks, unemployment benefits. People were swimming in money and didn't know what to do with it. And that added up to a lot of money being able to flow in at once from retail investors. That's just not the case anymore. More people are pinching pennies, trying to get by, paycheck to paycheck, dealing with inflation. So it's just not the same condition. And I think that Roaring Kitty misplayed his hand in thinking that it could do the similar thing. And hopefully, I guess, he's not working with other people, because if he did work with someone else and, you know, he was taking on $100 million, $200 million from somebody else saying, oh, we can tweet some memes, do some of this stuff and make a bunch of money, it might not work out that way. And if he ends up losing these people's money, if he's working with someone else, you know, nobody knows, he might have to try and disappear to get away from them. But also, I think that they might, you know, just send him to jail, get him in jail, get some sort of jail time, just to try and make an example out of him, even if there's nothing wrong. You know, they do this, the government does this plenty of times. Probably try and make an example out of him so other people don't try and replicate what he's done and, you know, burn hedge funds or burn Wall Street and stuff like that. That's going to do it for this video. As always, don't forget to smash that button and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video.